Welcome back to Bronze League Heroes. Wow. Okay. In the bottom left, in the red Terran player. It is Kira, and of course, in the top right, also a Terran player. Of course, it is Zero Control. Terran versus Terran, the iconic matchup of Bronze League Heroes, because as we all know, such a disproportionate number of bronze players to this day are Terran. But why? And that's because the Wings of Liberty campaign is free to play, and well, most of StarCraft is free to play, but especially the Wings of Liberty campaign. And back in the day, it was cheaper, and everybody who played StarCraft 2 had a lot more experience with Terran than any other race. So they're like, well, I know Terran, so we're gonna sit here and make planetary fortresses and siege tanks like this is the last mission of the Wings of Liberty campaign, spoilers a decade later, and make every game take 38 minutes on average. And we love them for it. But we'll have to see. Both these players showing so far signs of mild experience. We've got Reapers to start. Orbital commands. Some of the staples. Not attack commands, but orbital commands. This SCV, well camouflaged on the outside of the wall, will somehow evade the attention of the original scouting Reaper. Beautifully done there. It takes a slick move to pull that one off. Meanwhile, the Reaper will wait for its moment. Reaper's on both sides. Reaper jumps in. Gonna go to work. Reaper on the other side. Kira! 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 Oh, Kira's gonna go for the base trade scenario. The Reaper's in the main. Both sides are just kind of gonna be killing SCVs. Alright, that's one. Oh, strong response. Good micro. Meanwhile, this Reaper racked up 2 kills. They're beating each other up right now. A Marine comes out, but the Marine was not on a tech move. The SCV has taken some damage. This Reaper now has 3 kills. Kira's Reaper is at 1 kill. The competition continues. Oh, the target fire wasn't perfect, and Zero Control will end up with a grand total of 5 workers killed, but it's not over yet. Kira racking up 3. Can we see 4? Can I get 4? Come on down. We're going for 4. It's not quite enough. Zero Control, wow, exhibiting significantly more than Zero Control. Oh, the SCV is on the warpath. There's nothing to stop it. It's murdering everyone. And now the command center. Nothing is above his ambition, though maybe it should be. It's taken out. Another, oh, the murdering SCVs on both sides. But that one, not as successful. The SCVs wanted to get in on the bloodlust. I think everybody's going to have to call... Oh, what? It appears the rally point actually was... the SCV's trying to rise up and seize the memes of production. But in the end, they were put down. An engineering bay in a timely manner from Zero Control, and a second engineering bay, very upgrade focused. Starport on the way for Q. Going for the Barracks Factory Starport 111 Destiny Cloud Fist build, as some in the past have mentioned it. Another Reaper. The Kira. Oh, is this the original Reaper? The OG, if you would? Not going to be outdone. Remember, Zero Control's Reaper killed 5 SCVs. Kira has waited for this moment. Bided her time. And now... these 2 Marines are going to have a bad day. Oh, my God. Oh, great airtime on that arm, though. Beautifully done. Wait, whose scan is that? Okay, yeah. That scan came from Zero Control. Oh, the Reaper comes in. We're looking at 3 kills. Still not going to be enough yet. The Marines will force it to back off. A 3rd command center is planned here, as we're going to a macro game. The Reaper looking for its opportunity. It's in the main. There's nothing to stop it besides a barracks. Oh, it's going. A lot of micro. There's literally nothing here besides SCVs. The micro moving back. A lot of pressure here on Kira. But, okay. All right. 1, 4. Oh, no! The Reaper micro. Oh, not quite. A little off. Still looking for that number 5, at least tie. Oh, what a juke. What a jive. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge with the medevac. Heals the SCVs. And Kira has to get out. Unfortunately, a lack of focus there on the Reaper will mean that the record of Zero Control's Reaper of 5 kills in this match is still intact. Kira still maintains a solid supply lead. Upgrades, not as good. Stim has not begun yet. But the sheer army itself will... there's an advantage. A couple SCVs chilling, holding it down at the forward operating soon-to-be base. Or the FOSTBB, if you would, if you know military speak. If you copy that. Looks like the army is very interested in this medevac drop. The medevac drop should be interested in the army. It seems a little less than concerned. Unfortunately, well, there is a tank. So the Marines have little to no concern, it seems, about tanks in general. Oh my. Well, if only someone could have predicted there was a tank on top of that ramp. Unfortunately, there was no way for Zero Control to know there was a tank there, making it difficult to prepare a strategy to counter it. 5 more barracks and 2 upgrades on the way for Zero Control. So his name might be accurate in the sense that he's more focused on macro than the micro. And so far, well, it hasn't really paid off for him, because Kira has built up more than enough army to make things difficult. Unfortunately, the SCVs, there's like 2 or 3 SCVs down here. Not everybody, they're trying to slip through the minerals, but it's a bit disorganized. But eventually the orbital falls. A couple more command centers on the way. There is a supply block for Zero Control, unfortunately, with the death of that command center. A couple more barracks. It's still going to be 8 barracks to 3. The SCVs are going home. Kira. Still no stim pack upgrade. Zero Control has all the upgrades and none of the units, and Kira has all the units and none of the upgrades. Alright. I'm just going to go ahead and pick up. And where are we going? Express trip to the main. Oh, a beautiful pre-scan as well. Gonna be on top of those engineering bays. There will be no more upgrades out of them at the very least. The stim back from Zero Control. That tank isn't actually sieged. So with 2-2, stim and combat shields, actually Zero Control gonna do just fine against this. That's a 3 upgrade advantage with stim and combat shield. We'll have to see if the engineering bay does get repaired here. It does burn on today's episode of Will It Burn. Medevac coming back. Maybe not best pathing. Okay. Kira still maintains a solid supply lead as Zero Control has really struggled. Just in general, but also specifically. The Reaper! Somehow. Throughout all of the... and who could have thought there would be tanks on top of this ramp? No one was... the Reaper! It dies. Its mission unfulfilled. These tanks maybe not in the best possible location here, as they can't go through the mineral wall. The tanks will siege. Still no stim on the way, though. Tanks don't really worry too much about your marine upgrades as long as you have anything in front of them. Even with +3 armor, a handful of tanks will be a no-go zone for a marine-only army, like the one that Zero Control is insistent upon building. Stim is about to finish from Kira, with some beautifully arranged barracks, making it impossible to build add-ons. Kira actually with 4 bases here. Solid when it comes to macro. The upgrades and add-ons and all of that could use a little improvement, but I'm not... Who's scanning and where? Okay, a scan for the 3rd. Kira has a target. Another scan. Oh. Who... What? Oh, a counter scans. That was actually looking for bases, but we'll find army. Here comes Zero Control down the ramp against very poorly upgraded Marines. The tanks will siege. How many Marines will survive? Big volley, though. A lot of Marine helmets flying. The ragdolls across the map like bowling pins. A incredible strike. Kira lost most of her Marines in that exchange, but the tanks saved the day. Well, the downside of Zero Control is having Zero Control. That's why they pay me the big bucks for my words. A 3 Marine hit squad moving into, we're going to call it the 4th base of Kira. And those are +2, +3 Marines. SCVs aren't going to clean them up. Oh. And they decide to leave out of an abundance of mercy and also select all army. This is going to be a little awkward as they're caught going through the mineral wall, not even on a move. They're out attack command. They're trapped. Siege. Siege. Jesus Christ, siege. The scan. They're in the grass, blown to bits. A lot of death. We see the power of upgrades here. These Marines have just halfway killed this command center on their own. It's in the orange. Oh, wait a second. Okay, we have to ask ourselves... Oh, okay, never mind. He's just gonna... He decides to slaughter the SCVs instead, which is probably a smart move. Meanwhile, Zero Control, a big fan of big barracks. He's been paid off here. So no more factories on our side of the map. Instead, only barracks. He's going to go up to a dozen barracks, but a dozen tanks are a pretty good counter. Still no combat shields out of Kira. Venn dia scans here. Both sides taking a look at one another. Is he going to go? Are you insane? Even without all the tank siege. Even with those armor upgrades. It's a massacre. Carnage all over the battlefield. More Marines trying to be healed. Closing the distance. The splash damage is overwhelming. The splash damage is far too much. And the splash damage will hit Zero Control like a tsunami and wipe him off the field. But what does he have to replace it? It's not about how many men you lose. It's about how many you have to replace them. And there are still plenty of medevacs. There are still plenty of Marines. The tanks are not sieged. The tanks are not sieged. Need I add? The tanks, they are not sieged. But another... Oh, the Marines are closing the distance. But the tanks are now sieged. Let's look at the kills. 10 kills, 27, 29, 23, 19, 17. Over 100 Marines murdered. He's got to be careful with... both sides with the same idea in this mirror match. The standoff continues. Zero Control starting to leverage that huge mineral economy and production into a huge amount of Marines. But siege tanks exist. Still no combat shields from Kira. A big oversight. Though 2-2 is finished. We doing this again? We are. Those arc-light cannons worth their weight in golden minerals and rich Vespine gas. The tank line holds with strength. Both sides will redeploy at friendly sunderers and bring in another round. We'll have to see how heavy this assault is. A scan. He decides, wait a second. Maybe if I went around a scan. Scans! 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 But he doesn't scan where the actual army is. He's slow. He's gone. The tank's on siege, but Zero Control stemmed into position. Oh, Kira has walled herself off with the barracks. Both sides. There are 28 barracks on the field, and some of them are creating a wall for friendly units, but also keeping... Oh my god! How many Marines? 270 and counting. The ragdolls are all over the field like some sort of demented children's show. Blood coats the pristine sands of Zen Alley, and it soaks in, and it won't be the end of it. The barracks are still in the way, and the tanks can't get past them, which is... But Zero Control just keeps throwing Marines to the left, to the right, and up the center. Another base, and another one. Whereas, Kira finally learns the traffic jam issue. There are no medevacs to lift into the main from the south. Kira has 92 army supply, is down on workers, but has 11 siege tanks. They do have +1 mech weapons. The uncombat shielded, but 3-3 Marines are nearly done. The army has done a lot of drugs. The tanks will siege, and with it, the Marines will die. Oh my god. But every time, though, Kira losing more than needed. 4 battle cruisers on the way for Zero Control, either feeling confident or feeling like he needs a new plan. He's got plenty of money in the bank. And now, more barracks on the way. We've got 16 barracks, 7 starports, 4 battle cruisers in production. Ship weapons level 1. Wait, oh my god, he finally remembered +3 attack. It's taken this long. But he finally remembered it. Well, I don't think he noticed that the engineering bay burned down the last time. But tanks, Marines, 130... There have been 373 Marines and counting. But Zero Control showing just enough control. The mini-map looks like a tower defense game. And Kira's towers are falling. The battle cruisers jump into the main. It's all falling apart. It's been trending this direction. This might be the most direct and obvious example of macro. You know, I would say macro beating micro, but that's not incredibly fair. That's... that would imply that Kira was microing to a serious extent. But this is an interesting, optimistic, and dramatic drop from Kira. In the middle of all of the production. But because the rally point is so overwhelming, I don't see, while this is a valiant last stand, the Dunkirk of Kira's forces. Oh my, I mean, nearly 500 Marines. Will there be 500 before it is all over? The battle cruisers combined. The battle cruisers have 0-0, so... Oh, they have +1. That's enough. They have 2 base armor, which makes the Marines... Well... At the end of the game, there were 4 nukes in production. Over 700 Marines? 700? Nearly 7... No, wait, 800... well over 700 Marines. Nearly 4 maxed armies of Marines. Dozens of SCVs. But at the end of the day, more stuff counters less stuff. Well, it started with the Reapers, it didn't end with them. I don't know. There's not much to describe that. The meat grinder, where they just didn't stop fighting. Sometimes in Bronze League Heroes, you see lull in the action. You see, I don't know, like both players go back to their corners and take 7 minutes to consult their strategy guides. But not here. Thank you, FFT Private, for judging that worthy. And thank you for watching, like, and subscribe, and ring the bell, and all of those exciting and important things. Leave a comment about how, wow, Terran is hard if both these players are bronze. I don't know. Something clever. What's your favorite season? Okay. No, not a trick question at all. Thank you for watching. Bronze League Heroes.